Welcome back. You are taking a look at shares of Fox, rising a little bit, 3%. They did report ad revenue. It did fall by more than a third, really mostly driven by the absence of Super Bowl and 2 NFL playoff games that Fox had broadcast a year ago. We do want to note, of course, Fox is the parent company of Fox Business Network. Meanwhile, let's turn to this. Inflation-weary eaters, they're pulling a little bit back on spending. Applebee's and the IHOP parent, Dine brands, up now almost 1%, even though there was maybe a little bit of a miss on the top and the bottom line. Consumers are highly sensitive to rising prices. I'm pleased to say here with us now, Dine brand CEO, John Peyton. What is the consumer telling you?
The consumer sent a message this past quarter. It was a tough quarter for us, and it was a tough quarter for the restaurant industry overall. And, you know, what we saw really for our guest that earns $50,000 and below, which is about 45% of our guests, is that guest dined out less frequently in the first quarter. And when they were dining with us, managed their wallet more closely than in the past, finding our promotional offers and things like that. So it's a bit of a fight right now for share of wallet. It will be all year because the guest is very much chasing value.
So we talk a lot about fast food on this show, and of course you're up a tier from that, which it seems to me means you can do more maybe on the promotional side of things. We've paid attention to things you've been doing. Does that give you a little wiggle room? In this environment, is there more you can do to catch consumers' attention and say, hey, look, spend a little bit more, but get a lot more as well?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Value is what we do best. You know, IHOP is 65 years old, Applebee's is 40 years old, Fuzzy's Taco Shop is 20 years old. And they've been through strong economies and they've been through tougher economies like this. And so when you've got a menu that's all about variety like ours, our strategy is every 4 to 8 weeks, Brian, there's something new to entice guests. So last month, it was 50-cent boneless wings, voted America's favorite wing.
That sounds good.
And
He likes those.
I like that a lot.
That is that's a driver of traffic. Most importantly, it's profitable. Like we just launched last week also for Applebee's Dollarita, which is a margarita for $1. Also profitable for our franchisees. But the key point, to your point, is that 92% of the tickets that have a Dollarita purchase additional food items.
Right.
So it's driving traffic, driving food, and now you can add a flavor shot to that Dollarita for 50 cents. So it's all
boneless
about the
wings and Dollaritas. Where have I been living my whole life?
Brian and Kelly will be after the show.
I gotta go.
Definitely. You know, I want to think about the flip side of the promotions, because I hear you, that's going to get a lot of people in the door. Maybe they're going to buy something else along with that. But how are you seeing that impact margins when I imagine your costs are rising, right? I mean, we're seeing cost of goods go up. We're seeing labor costs go up. So when you're thinking about the rest of the year and maybe consumers pulling back even more, how do those two competing dynamics work?
Yeah, so let me just cost first, because it helps with the promotional question. So the cost of goods into our restaurants started to fall last year, or the peak of inflation started to fall.
Okay.
This year, cost of goods into Applebee's, we think for the year will be down 0 to 2%, and IHOP up 1 to 2% because they're more bacon and pancake mix focused, and those prices are still a little bit higher. So constructing a promotion is both art and science, right? The science is, if we know beef is up, we're not going to promote steaks. So we plan around what we know our cost of goods is. We also plan with our franchisees, and we do postmortems afterward, and what we learn from one promotion, we roll to the next. And so as long as they're profitable and they're driving incremental profit and incremental guests, we'll do that, like I said, every 4 to 6 to 8 weeks to make sure that we've got something new and exciting to come in.
One of our favorite stories was the Applebee's Date Night Pass.
Love that story.
$200. It offers up to $30 in food per week a year. I think it's sold out in minutes of launching. Explain how it works and the excitement around it.
So it may not be true, but we've convinced ourselves we broke the internet with that one.
Yeah.
We came close. It's exactly what you said. We offered a date night pass for $200 that gave you a $30 coupon every week for 52 weeks for date night at Applebee's. We offered the first one earlier in this year, and it sold out in less than a minute at midnight.
Wild.
Wow.
Crazy response. Did it again for Valentine's Day. We offered 1,000 passes. Learned our lesson. This time you got your name put into a virtual hat, and everybody had an equal shot at getting it. And again, sold out within minutes. And you get great stories. There's a woman in North Dakota who was one of the winners and says she hit the Applebee's lottery.
Nice.
Right? And so it's just a great way of really demonstrating that Applebee's is sort of in the culture and in the fabric of America.
Can you give us a little tip on when the next one's coming?
Oh,
You know,
that's
Valentine's
under embargo,
Day,
right?
on 4th of July.
I'll meet you at the Applebee's on 42nd Street for your wings and your margarita. Maybe I'll tell you there, Brian.
Fair enough.
John, thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you, Taylor. Thanks for having me.